Jamila, how old are you?
I'm 19.
You are a subscriber on my channel and you've commented a few times on different videos, and you mentioned in one of your comments that remember you're coming up on a year of sobriety, and I said congratulations, and I asked you if I could talk to you, interview you, right? Because I think it's important for people to hear your story.
Yeah.
Maybe you can impact, change, help somebody out there that's struggling with the same struggles you've had in your life, right?
Yeah.
So please walk us through, like, how old were you when you started?
So with everything, I started like messing with substances and stuff when I was 12, but it was only weed and alcohol, and it wasn't like every day. It was sometimes just for fun, whatever. And then just over the years it like progressed. When I was 14, that's when I was smoking cigarettes every day, weed every day. Kids, well, not kids, but like teenagers and stuff, like it's a big influence on like a lot of stuff you do. Like a lot of the friends I hung out with back then, we would like start doing coke hella early, start messing with Molly, ecstasy, lean, just stuff like that. And it really does like open up. It's like the gateway. There's no specific gateway drug to me. It's like once you try something that alters how you feel, sometimes you get curious and want to keep going and going and going, and that's what I did. And it just kept going over the years, really. Like I didn't have a big problem until I was like 15 or 16 mostly. That's like the first time I tried blues, the first time I tried meth, stuff like that. And it sounds bad, but to be honest, I fell in love with it. I like the feeling. It made me feel good. There's a lot of like emotions you want to hide, and that's how I am personally. Like I just I conceal my emotions, and I don't like to express them too much, because to be honest, no one really cares unless it's like family or something, but no one really cares. So I try and like keep it to myself, and that was one way of coping with it, was just feeling good. But it was only temporary because it started to go too fast. Like my life started to tumble, kind of. I don't know. I don't know.
Were you out in the streets?
It was like a mix, yeah. When I was like 16, that's when I first left my mom's house. I left, and I had a boyfriend at the time. We lasted like 2.5 years, and we were living together, and he was on drugs really bad. This was before I even tried blues yet. We were living together, and he was starting to do them, hide it from me. I started noticing gone, like the TV. One time I came home from work, I was like, "Where's the TV, bro?" He's like, I broke it. I had to throw it away. I found out he sold it. It was just like that all the time. And one day he got into it with his brother, and I witnessed like the whole thing. So we pulled off, we left, and he was like really emotional. He was upset, and he was like, "I need to get high right now." And I was like, "Dude, we have acid. Like we could just trip and go somewhere." He was like, "Nah, like I'm gonna drop you off and I'll pick you up later." And I was like, "Nah, dude, like I'm coming with you." And blah blah blah. That same night was the night I tried everything that night, all at the same time. It was weird, like blues, G, acid. I was drinking too. That's where it started. And then sorry, what was the question again?
Were you like out in the streets, like some of the people I interviewed?
Yeah. So after that point, I started like experimenting more and more with them, and then he was getting really bad, like 30-40 a day, and we had to leave where we were at. So we started living in motels, like just ghetto ass places. Like we didn't want to be there. I had my 2 cats. I'd come home. I worked a lot. I worked like 6 days a week. It was like a 9 to 5. So
you were using but still able to work?
And then I eventually lost my job because it got that bad where I started using in the bathroom. They started to pick up on it, and they let me go. So by that point, we were like struggling to find somewhere to go, because I was kind of supporting both of us. And having like that place to stay. So we were just moving all around, like 59th and Glendale. We were over there on like the Motel 6, budget suites. We were over there, and all those areas is just full of drugs. So it was just a bad mix. You're asking for it basically. So there was times he would go in and out of treatment and stuff, and I would just be there alone. I'd be fine. I wouldn't mess with anything. I wasn't that bad yet. And then one time he was gone and I found G in the house, so I started using, and it was just like that back and forth. And then eventually I finally, like, we broke up, and that's when I started getting bad, like on my own bad. Yeah.
What was your worst moment, like worst of times when you were out in the street and highly addicted? What were you going through?
Like personally, what was I going through in life? So I don't have a good relationship with my dad at all. He's around, but we would get into it so bad, like for years and years and years, just so bad. And I would kind of like use drugs and like company to like ease that pain, you know? And just other I don't really want to get into, but it's just like a lot of stuff people can go through, you know? So that's kind of what I did, and I would find myself in like QT bathrooms on the bus stop smoking. Like it's I don't like thinking about it, but that's what happened. That's the reality of it.
Something that the young women that I talk to, that they tell me they're fearful of getting kidnapped, snatched up, and, you know, people not hearing from them because they're going to be locked up in somebody's house. And
I can't tell you how many times I've almost been taken. So many times. Even just like going to work, getting on the bus, going to work, going home, like that. Like, people are ruthless. They don't care. They want what they want, and they'll try and get it. They don't care at all. You got to keep something with you at all times. Like, you can't fight a man. They're strong. Like, it doesn't work like that for everyone. So pepper spray, knives, whatever.
So that's true. What they say is that there's some creepy men out there that'll try to physically snatch up, kidnap, especially girls that are out there vulnerable, right? Sleeping at night or walking around because they just took, you know, some blues or something, and these guys know that they're not well, right?
Yeah.
And so they'll take advantage of that. That's true?
That's so true. There's I've seen it too. It hasn't just happened to me. I've seen it like skirting sounds, like at the bus stop, and they'll try and like snatch a girl up real quick, slumped out, like because she's not all there, you know? Or I mean, it could even happen to guys too. It could happen to anybody who's vulnerable enough, and whoever's sick enough to do it, they'll do it.
So you had been clean for a year. How did you end up getting clean? What's the story behind that?
So this was after me and my ex, we already broke up, and I had this friend. Me and her would use a lot together. I would go to her house, and we would just I started off actually snorting them. I tried smoking them. That was like how I first tried it, and I didn't like it because it tasted awful. It stinks. And I started snorting them, and then that's when I started getting like grimy, you know, like, oh, how am I gonna get money for this, that? So I started stealing, doing people wrong, and it's really embarrassing to think of, because like that's not who I am. But when you're on drugs, like you don't care at all. So yeah, after that point, my mom, she started to notice, and like I put her through so much like pain. She was so hurt through all that, and eventually all my family's in St. Louis, Missouri, and I went over there for a few months, and I got myself right. The first 2 weeks were ass. I was like basically just dead on the couch like a vegetable, trying to get well. I didn't have no medicine, nothing. It was just straight cold turkey. It was awful, like just awful. I wouldn't wish that on nobody, but eventually I came back. The same night I came back, I used again. The same night I went straight to that girl's house, and we used, blah blah blah. And then a week after, I remember the date. It was October 25th, 2019. That's when I stopped. And then I went a whole year without doing anything. I wasn't on drugs. I just smoke a lot of weed. That's it. I went that whole year. And then I remember I was so happy. I was so proud of myself when October 25th, 2020 hit. I was like, damn, I lasted a year, blah, blah, blah. And then in less than a month, I don't know what happened, but that same night, again, G, blues, Xanax, I was using everything. And then it's crazy though, because it was only that one night. I slipped up that one time, and then I didn't do it again. And then that's when I was commenting on the videos. I'm coming up on a year, because I almost did. And then this August that just passed, I started messing with them again. Not the G though, just blues. And I wasn't snorting them no more. I was smoking them. And it started to get really bad, like really quickly too, so fast. Like within a week, I noticed I lost so much weight. I used to be so big, I can't even tell you. Like I was probably like 150, and I've just been kind of like petite since then. Like I've gained weight back, but like it's never came back like that again. I lost about 30-40 pounds in less than 3 months. You don't eat, you throw up. Like that's some things I noticed in the interview, some people don't talk about the feeling when you first do them. It's like, why do you even want to do them? Like you smoke it, and then it gets overwhelming. You throw up, you go to sleep, you wake up, you feel like do it again. It's like, it's a whole process of just like nonsense, you know? It's there's no point in it.
How long have you been clean now?
October 3rd, and today's the 29th.
So it's almost going to be another month that you're totally clean.
Yeah.
Do you battle every day with temptation, the cravings?
Yeah, every single day. Every day, whether it's like a song, or I drive past the street and it makes me think about something, or I get upset about something, like some emotions pop up and I'm just like, damn, I'm trying to like learn how to let myself feel it so I can move on from it, instead of picking up a piece of foil, putting a pill on it, smoking it, and trying to feel good.
Just by hearing your story, it seems to me, from my perspective, that the blues or just any substance that you've used, it's like helps with your emotional hole that you have, right? There's some type of emotional something you're trying to fill within yourself, and you use these pills, blues, fentanyl, to kind of help you with that.
Yeah,
right?
You put it perfectly. Like that's exactly what it is. For me, at least, it's not the same for everyone, but for me, like you couldn't explain it better. Like sometimes you just feel like a chunk of you is like missing, and you try and like fill it in with drugs, and it's just not okay. It's not good. It's unhealthy. I don't know. It kind of gets me emotional, because like no one belongs on. No one does. And like this past month, I know at least 4 people who died from overdosing or getting shot over like a bad deal. So many people, and they're all under 20, under 21. Like they're so young, and like I'm not trying to die. Like I'm not trying to. Like I have goals. I have so many goals I want to accomplish, and you can't accomplish that when you're on blues or anything, even weed. Like I smoke all the time, but I know that I need to either slow it down or stop completely, because to get where I want to be, you can't be messing with that. Even weed, you can't be messing with anything. You have to be clear-minded. You have to stay strong. Like it's hard. It really is, because you're doing you're going against what your mind's telling you, basically.
Jamila, I think it was very important for you you felt a sense of sharing your story, even though it's hard, right? You're getting emotional, but you know that it's important for young people, right, to hear your story, because like you said, 4 people you've known, they're passed away, and they're under 20, and they're not going to get to live, breathe, or reach their potential or goals, right? And so it's important for somebody like you. You're young, you have ambitions and goals, and you want to accomplish things, right? But you're human, right? We all make mistakes. We all have emotional, physical, mental pain that we're all covering.
Yeah.
We're all trying to hide and cope with. And some do it with pills, some do it with weed, some do it with alcohol, some do it with this or that. But it's important for people, young people, to hear your story, because how many other Jamilas are out there,
Yeah.
right? 14, 15, 16, they're young.
Experiment.
And they're trying to fill a gap, right? Whether it's a relationship with their family, parents, brothers, right? Something's missing and they're trying to cover it, fill that hole with these substances that are going to kill them, right?
Exactly.
Or make them lose years, valuable years, time. Like they'll go to jail, violence.
I wasted so much time wasted just sitting there knotted out. Like, for what? Like, go get some money, go get a job, go do some work, something. Like, there's so much more than drugs and feelings like that. Yes, I won't lie, it does. Like, it literally feels like someone just hugged you and, like, you feel at home, you feel comforted. That's what it feels like, but temporarily. Until you start, your, like, joints start hurting, you start getting cold for no reason, like, stuff like that. It's all fun until that point hits.
It's a lie, right? The blue devil is a lie.
Yeah.
Right? It's comforting for a little bit. It's a warm blanket, right? When you need that comfort, right? And support, but it's going to hurt. It's going to be painful. It's going to be deadly. Where will you be in 6 months? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What do you want to do? If I was to do an update in 6 months from now, where will you be?
Definitely not on blues. Definitely not on any drugs. So I'm a baker. That's my passion. I love baking and cooking. Like, I've been doing it for a few years, and it was just hard, like, kind of, I guess, balancing it, like the drugs and all that, because it takes time away from all that. But recently I've been like working towards just getting back into baking more and stuff like that. I have my own business. It's I sell a lot of cakes, pastry, stuff like that. So
what's the name of your business, and how can people find you? Where can we find you if we want a cake, we want cupcakes, we want to taste your baking awesomeness? Where do we go?
So I have an Instagram. It's called Secret Sweets Bakery, and yeah, you could just find me on there. You could DM me if you want anything. But yeah, I've been doing that for a few years, and then last year I finally made it like a business. I have my food handler's card, I have my EIN, so I'm getting closer to like getting my vendor's license. So yeah, that's something I really want to do. I always have, as of a few years ago. So that's where I want to be in 6 months, pursuing that. I'm in school right now. I dropped out when I was 15, so it was like it's hard being in school because I'm kind of lost a little bit. It was like a lot of years I missed, but I got my GED when I was 18, which was shortly after I got clean that first time. And then now I'm in community college, so I'm really trying, like, to better myself.
What's one message you want to give to young people? What would you tell them?
Man, watch out who you hang out with, and messing with drugs too and stuff like that. It's not fun. Like, the people you hang out with can influence so much. You'll see a friend you're with, like, just for an example, let's say you have a friend, you see her do a line of coke, and you're like, what's that? What if it's cut with fentanyl? What if it's cut with something other than that? Like, regardless, it's still coke. Like, you don't want to be doing that. It's not a game. You can't be playing with that. You're gambling with your life. Like, something that helped me was imagining my mom sad as hell because I'm dead under the ground. That's something that helped me, because I can't put my mom through that. Like, I just can't do that to her.
Imagining yourself dead and your mom burying you motivated you to get better.
Yeah, because I knew that's where it was going to take me.
That's powerful.
I knew that was where it was going to take me, because look at the outcome of so many other people. They're just dying
left and right every day here in Phoenix,
dropping dead like flies. It's sad. It's sad, and it's over a little pill, not even big as a dime.
Yeah. Jamila, I'm gonna thank you very much for having the courage to talk to me, open up, and share your story. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think you're a very strong individual to go cold turkey on this. grown men have told me that going cold turkey on this is very hard.
Yeah,
but,
it is.
But you're able to do it multiple times, and please stay on this path. So you mentioned a business, baking, school, EIN.
Yeah.
That means employee identification number, right? A lot of people don't know what that is. Grown adults don't know what that is. But you have a business mentality. You have a mature mind. I think you grew up really fast.
Yeah, I kind of had to a little bit.
Yep. And so that maturity is going to pay off now, right? Because you want to be, you want to do big things as far as a business and just stay busy. That's one of the things that recovering addicts have told me. Stay busy with positive things to keep your mind off of the negative things, or the things that remind you of going back to that old world, right?
Absolutely, because sometimes you'll find yourself like sitting there in your room or in your car, just somewhere, and you're like stuck in your thoughts, like, damn, this would be a great time right now, but you can't. You just can't. And it's like, it's easier said than done, for sure, but so many people, like, they're just full of and they're like, oh, I'm gonna get clean. If you're not gonna get clean, like, then you're not gonna get clean. I mean, that's just how I look at it. You're either gonna do it or you're not.
So I'm proud of you. Congratulations on being awesome. Congratulations on getting your life in order. I'm sure your family's proud of your mom. Has to be very proud of you. The Lost in Phoenix community, which you're a part of, is happy and proud to have you in our family. And we now have a baker in Lost in Phoenix, right? It's you. So if you could tell me that one more time, where can people contact you for your baking skills?
It's Secret Sweets Bakery on Instagram.
Awesome. I'm going to stay in touch with you, okay? Make sure you're on that path going to a successful life. Thank you very much, Jamila. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Thank you.